Peace family, CqN here, and in this segment we are going to be talking about medicine bags or mojo bags. It depends on where you're from. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why we use mojo bags and medicine bags in our traditional practices. So mojo bags and medicine bags, they are made of different type of cloth, and most shamans and spiritual people, medicine men, healers will wear these either around their neck, or they would make one for their children, for babies, for themselves when they're about to perform certain rituals. Sometimes they would perform, they will make a mojo bag just to have it hanging up somewhere in the house. So if you guys haven't seen my recent video, I actually talk about a little bit about the mojo bag and putting an angelica root inside of it to protect your babies from nightmares. This also is good for helping adults, protecting adults from nightmares too, who may be still up against the hag. The hag is an entity that likes to ride you at night, and it's the feeling you get, or they call it sleep paralysis, when you can't move, you can't scream. So that's the hag riding you. If you ever had that scary experience and you don't want to experience that again, I would definitely recommend getting a red little medicine or mojo bag, put an angelica root inside of it, and put it up under your pillow. Now there's different types of medicine bags and mojo bags for different purposes. Some people make medicine bags for prosperity. Some people make it for better luck at work. Let's say if you want to go in for a promotion, or you about to go in for an interview, you would bless your mojo bag with certain herbs, like let's say pyrite, or John the Conqueror root, or you might put some commanding oil inside of it. Different type of herbs and different oils have different purposes. And in Hoodoo, which is the practice of Native American or indigenous spirituality, it also adapts some of the African spiritual cultures as well, right? In Hoodoo, we basically believe that the mojo bag has a spirit. You feed the mojo bag, it becomes a real entity, you bless it, and even one of these videos I'm going to have to show you guys step by step on how to prepare a mojo bag, how to consecrate it, how to give life to it, how to activate it, and all of that good stuff. So an example of what you would use for, let's say you're going on a date and you want the date to go really good, right? Ladies, you can put a little bit of catnip, damiana, and rose in your mojo bag to make you seem more alluring, more attractive, more magnetic. And for men, if you're about to go on a date, spray the mojo bag with your favorite cologne and add a little bit of John the Conqueror root in there, and that will make you very charismatic, very charming, and also your partner will see you as very handsome. Okay, so those are just a few tips on the attraction part as far as like romantic and sexual. If, for instance, let's say there's somebody who's really ill, right? Like you want to prepare a mojo bag for a sickly person, you can make a mojo bag that's made with either red or white cloth, and you can fill it with rue, you can fill it with rosemary and eucalyptus. Now, rosemary, rue, and eucalyptus, these are herbs that are normally used to purify the space. Even juniper berries. There's no saying that if there's a sick person in the house or like in the room, you'll take some charcoal and you'll burn juniper berries and some eucalyptus to kind of clear the air, even some frankincense or sage to clear the air, to remove sickness, so that way the spirit of sickness doesn't stay in the house. I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day, the old folks, old Southern ladies used to say, when you're sick, you got to open up the windows and get the bad energy out, unless like you're going to end up getting that cold all over again. The reason for that was they believed that the energy of sickness had to flow out, right? You're supposed to open up your windows every day and let new chi, new energy in and the old energy out. The home is a reflection of the body. The body is a reflection of the mind, and the mind, whatever's going on in your life, everything is reflected amongst each other. This is the law of correspondence. So speaking of the law of correspondence, that's why mojo bags work so powerfully, because we believe that each herb, each mineral, every essence that you put into this mojo bag, once you breathe life into it, it becomes a real entity. It becomes like a spirit guide, spirit animal, spiritual familiar. So the power of the mojo really lies in the faith that you put within it. Magic doesn't work without faith. That's why some people believe in magic, some people don't, and some people will see miracles when they start to open up their minds to the possibility of things beyond the physical realm. We live in a world that's full of different realities, different dimensions, different energies, different creatures that defy these laws that humans are simply bound by in 3D. So magic opens up your mind to being able to create things that you probably never would have been able to create before, and also expanding your consciousness so that your reality also expands to what you can attain, what you can attract. I always say that the most powerful people when it comes to the mysteries are people who have the imagination of children. And even Bobby Hemmett says this, like, to increase your magical powers, you have to have the mind of a child. A child is not limited, right? They're not jaded, they're not bitter. Like most adults become bitter when they reach a certain age. They realize that life is not as idealistic as they thought it would be. Maybe their hopes and dreams got crushed by responsibilities, debt, student loans. But children are open and free, and they are willing to take on anything, and they are brave and adventurous. And that's the type of energy you want to have going into magic, going into spirituality, keeping an open mind. You don't know how many times I see sometimes people in the comment section here like trying to constrict us on how we need to practice our spirituality. And the thing is, spirituality is not religion. A lot of people will leave that religious mindset and then just slap some African or indigenous spirits on it, but they still have the same mindset or the slave mindset that hasn't been broken. It takes healing, it takes shadow work, and this is why we always saying like really analyze your habits. Are you constricting yourself? Are you opening your mind to other spiritual paths? If you think that your path is the best and only path, then that's limited thinking. Only the fool thinks that he knows everything. The wise one knows he knows nothing at all. Or she knows nothing at all, right? So I just say that this particular platform, I created this platform to share information about different types of spiritual paths, different cultures, different backgrounds, different timelines, different deities. And honestly, I don't feel like a deity is tied to just one place, right? Like these are thought forms, these are energies, and energy is never created nor destroyed. So who's to really claim an entity as their own? We only know as far back as our human understanding can grasp how far these deities may go back. But do deities predate us, or would they not exist without our conscious mind to agree to them? I know that's a whole nother conversation, but just something to think about, right? These are energies, and these energies are just aspects of us. If God or the all or the mind is created or represented by a circle, the circle has 360 degrees, right? And so there's 360 days in a year. Now, mind you, if you're thinking about the Mayan calendar, they don't count the 5 extra days. They call that the days that don't exist outside of time. Now, if we think about it, right? 360 is each individual degree represents a god or energy or an aspect or an archetype. And when we tap into these energies, what we're doing is we're calling upon these different degrees or angles or angels to assist us and to help us. So all of this, honestly, the astrology, the zodiac, and these mythical stories and biblical stories that been teaching us was really just these ancient medicine men, ancient shamans, ancient healers, ancient teachers trying to teach us about the mind and how the universe works and how to manifest and how to utilize our magic so that we can elevate beyond the 360 degrees, get out of this circle or this matrix, because that's how we get stuck right back here into karma. Okay, this cycle, the snake eating its tail. It's about spirituality is about breaking out of that circle by mastering the 36 degrees, 360 degrees. So to become God of something, you must master that thing. And that's why a lot of these ancient beliefs, the systems, they always talk about like, know thyself, master thyself, self-mastery. Everything outside of you is only a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And all of these different mystery schools and different religious texts and different stories and legends and myths are really just stories to help you to tap into your consciousness. right? 360 consciousness. To make a full 360 is to kind of end up right where you started. So that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is learn all these different degrees, master them, so that way when it's time for us to transition out of this realm, we will already know like how to work with these degrees to break free of the karmic matrix. This is why in the Book of the Dead they talk about like there's certain deities that stand by certain doorways, there are certain pathways, and you have to understand how to work with that deity in order to go past that door. So different spiritual paths believe in different things, but it really depends upon like, you know, how you absorb it. So that's pretty much my take on mine, the magic, and also mojo bags, medicine bags. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, thumbs up. Until next time, CqN&x signing out. Peace.